Hey guys, what is up? In this video, we are going to deep dive into the newest beta version of Ecamm Live version 4. Stay tuned. So, Ecamm just keeps getting better and better and better with every single release, and I thought we should take a deep dive into the beta version of Ecamm Live. Now, if you already are an Ecamm Live subscriber, you can go to the link in the video description and check out these features for yourself by downloading the beta. If you have the beta version of Ecamm already installed on your computer, you can open it and it will just prompt you to do the update and you'll get all of these great new features. So probably the biggest feature in this version of Ecamm is multi-streaming. It is now natively supported inside of Ecamm Live, and this is huge. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now I couldn't do this live for one simple reason. I can't show you the scheduling tool when I'm actually live. I am going to be going live today actually. Well, today is relative because of when I'm recording this. But definitely check that stream out. Link to that will be in the video description as well. But let me show you the settings. So we're going to go and notice here, the entire bottom right corner is completely redone. It used to say destination, it used to say post as, you set your page, and then you would say whether it's a scheduled live or going live now. Now, for scheduled lives, you are going to go ahead and hit new. And it's going to give you some options. So let's just start with this. So right here are all of my destinations. One of the cool things is Ecamm will now default save your recently used destinations. So the Chromajt channel, all my Pampered Chef page, my travel business, all those things are saved in here. But let's go ahead and add a new destination. Let's hit new destination and let's hit YouTube, just so you can see what it's like when you're adding a destination. These are now added through the browser, which makes this a lot easier to add a destination. You click on it, you hit allow because you're already logged in on Chrome more than likely, so it just makes it a whole lot more seamless. And now I've added this destination, and I don't have to go through that process again. It will just retain that information for future streams. Let's do that one more time, but this time with a Facebook page. We are going to do a business page, and we are going there. And now it's added. So let me show you how to set this up with multi-streaming. So right now we would just be posting to one page or one item. That's pretty similar to how it was in the past, but now if I toggle on this multi-streaming, I can add more destinations. So now let's say I wanted to schedule this to the YouTube page. I can now set that up in my multi-stream settings. So I'm just going to say, welcome to MSLS. I can add a description. And then I can set my additional parameters. So I can set whether it's low latency, all this stuff looks familiar. I can set the thumbnail, I can set the date and the time. This is all stuff we've had before. It's pretty simple. So I'm actually going to set this up for, I'm actually going to change this. I'm going to go ahead and set my time. Oh, forgot. I got to do that first. So there we go. And we can add an image. I'm not going to do that right. Well, actually, do I have an image? Probably not. Yeah. I probably don't have an image. But if I had an image, I could add that in right now. And I would hit schedule. So I am going to actually pause this recording. I'm going to get an image real quick before I hit schedule. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and added an image real quick to this. I'm going to hit schedule. So once I hit schedule, you're actually probably going to hear my phone chirp here in a second. But it's going to actually schedule it. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you, notice the required speed down here. Ecamm now has a speed test built right in, and there it is. It is now set up inside of Ecamm Live. And this is the other new thing that they added. This is really cool. So this is all of my scheduled lives. And let's say I wanted to add a destination. Let's see, can I add a destination? Probably not. But I can set which one I'm about to go live into. So obviously the most next one up for me will be this one. And now I've set it to that destination. So I can have all this done in advance and be able to multi-stream, and you can see which destinations, oops, wrong button, I'm going to. So this one's going to YouTube and Facebook. This one's going to Facebook and YouTube, but a different YouTube channel. And this one's totally different. I can set all of these things up inside of Ecamm, and it will tell me the required speed for each destination, or for each stream. So this one's only going to require 5.9 megabits. So there's speed testing built right into Ecamm now. It's actually, if you want to run a speed test of your network, you go to the Ecamm Live. You're going to go down to Preferences. And under the Stream category, we have a little speed test area. I'm going to hit Test again. And now I can test my speed test. Now, I have pretty decent internet. I have fiber at this house, so my internet's usually pretty darn quick. But if you had a lower internet connection, this would be something you'd want to monitor. Obviously, higher streams definitely require more bandwidth. So give it a second. So 89.8. So here's an example of where I could really utilize that stream, that message. If I go and I were to change my output, my stream quality to 4K, and I went to the upcoming, I still would be able to do it just because I do have the internet connection to support 4K. But if you didn't, maybe one of these. Yeah, I don't really have any that would be an issue. But if I were to have an issue with my network, it will give me a red X saying either reduce my speed, my quality, or just no, it may not be the greatest quality. I'm going to flip that back to 1080 because I don't need to stream in 4K because, well, there's really no point. So that is probably the biggest new feature in Ecamm is we can now do scheduled streams with multi-streaming enabled natively inside of Ecamm. And what's great about that is now your comments will all come in marked where they're coming from. So we used to have to do this through Restream, and no offense to Restream, but I used to have problems with that all the time. The stream would go out, but the comments wouldn't always come through correctly. Sometimes I would get some, sometimes I would get none. There was an entire stream where I didn't think I had any comments until I looked after the fact and realized people had been commenting and I wasn't getting them. So definitely nice to see it just natively through Ecamm now. All the other live stream platforms had this. Ecamm was lagging a little bit behind, but I think the way they're implementing this is amazing. Now, a lot of people have been asking about the record only feature. The record only feature is still there. So it's actually now moved. It's now up here in the upper leftish corner of my screen. If I click on this, you're going to have three options. If you want to stream, record, or the virtual cam. I leave the virtual cam turned on all the time because I do bring Ecamm into Zoom a lot. I just keep that turned on, but if I just want to do a record only, I can hit the stream button, the streaming options go away, and now I have record only. If I want to stream, I just turn stream back on, and it is now brought those controls back, and I'm ready to stream with Ecamm Live, and it will also record at the same time. Now, if I didn't want a recording, I could turn that off. I personally don't recommend that. I personally recommend leave record on at all times. That way you always have a high quality recording to chop up for micro content. That's how Ecamm has always been set up when you're streaming, is it always records. I would leave it, but that is just personal preference. And virtual camera, if you don't want it turned on, you can turn it off. I leave it turned on though, because it's just nice to not have to remember to turn that on every single time, and it really doesn't do anything when it's not there. So that is probably the bigger features of this update. There is now a new control up here. This will hide the main window controls. So you can see all those controls went away. If I hit my function key, my FN key, okay, well, normally you hit the FN and it brings it back. So let's just bring them back. There we go. Function key would bring it back, but for whatever reason mine was not. I just went ahead and did it the old way and brought it back that way. But in theory, the function key, I usually don't use that. But if you do need that, that is a nice way to just make them disappear. So that is pretty much everything I wanted to show you guys. Like I said, the big one that we're all excited about is the multi-streaming, now native in Ecamm. There was one other thing I just thought of, and I wanted to make you aware of it. Unfortunately, LinkedIn comments will not come through into Ecamm, and this is not Ecamm's fault, so don't go lambasting Ecamm on this one. It's actually an API thing with LinkedIn. LinkedIn doesn't allow for Ecamm to see the comments coming in on the API side, so that is why, unfortunately, as of right now, this, again, this could change. LinkedIn, if you see this, please update your API so that way you can use the comments feature. So if you are using LinkedIn and that is your primary source, I would highly recommend having a browser tab open. We all recommend streaming with two screens. I do it all the time. But having a tab open on one of your screens just so you can see those comments, or even on an iPad or something where you can see those comments coming in, because you will not necessarily get them on Ecamm. Again, it's not Ecamm's doing. It is 100% on LinkedIn's side. They need to update their API in order for the update to work. So with all that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, go ahead and download Ecamm Live Beta. Link to it will be in the description below. You can play around with it. I believe multi-streaming, I'm not 100% positive on this. I think you have to have a pro account to be able to multi-stream. I'm not 100% sure on how that works as far as the pricing structure and all that is concerned. That would make the most sense to me because Pro is the highest user, and I have a Pro account, so I'm not 100% sure. If you're not Pro and you're only on Standard and you don't have access to multi-streaming, this might be a reason to upgrade. If interview mode wasn't enough, this might take the cake. So hopefully you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.